Say it's long ago that I said it, but I thought in the first half a little bit when the boys played really exceptional. I was not overly happy, I have to say it now, with the atmosphere behind me. I don't know. I asked people, what do we want? So we changed a lot of things. We dominate West Ham like crazy. We missed chances, and if I would be in the stand, I would be on my toes, but 1,000%. And I don't know if the Man United game was that bad that we have to say, oh, sorry that we didn't smash them. We need Anfield on Saturday. Without Anfield, I would say they didn't play this week, just to make sure I know. Sorry, they didn't play. They prepare for this game, and who knows a little bit about them, they will be prepared. So we need Anfield.
Is Jurgen Klopp scared of Arsenal? Is he fearful of their quality, their solid defense, the fact they're one of the hardest teams in the world to penetrate? It is exceedingly difficult to break their lines. Are Liverpool, is Jurgen Klopp scared of Arsenal? Or is this all a big mind game? Is this a mind game from Jurgen Klopp to ensure that the atmosphere is the most ferocious that it has ever been? Just to give Liverpool that extra je ne sais quoi, that extra oomph, that 12th man, to ensure they get the victory? Is this all just about making it the hardest possible destination? No win, I think, since 2012 for Arsenal at Anfield. Is that what it's about? Or does he genuinely believe, in your opinion, that without the crowd up, without it feeling like a European night under the lights, where the coaches get clapped into the stadium, the opponents get, bottles and all sorts thrown at their coach outside, without You Never Walk Alone ringing, not just through Anfield, but for the entirety of the red part of Merseyside, without every single fan, including the new additional 7,000, without all of them standing up, clapping, cheering, hollering, celebrating every tackle, every corner, every successful passage of play, can they not beat Arsenal? I want to get your opinion on this. I know the title of the video is going to trigger people. Oh, Terry's talking for Arsenal. Either terrible banter is dead now, boys, milked, or you think what I'm saying might be true, and instead of admitting it and being a grown-up, you're just going to throw in a really poor rebuttal. I'm intrigued by it. We've seen managers and players call out fan bases before. Roy Keane famously calling out the prawn sandwich brigade. I thought Anfield after the first 10 minutes against Man United was flat as a pancake. I thought last night was pretty decent against West Ham, there's no doubt, but only in fits and starts. Is Klopp right? Is the Anfield dead is the Anfield atmosphere dead? Can they not beat Arsenal without it? And from a point of view of the game, is this just some early mind games from Klopp to maybe lure Arsenal into a full sense of security? Give me your thoughts and give me your feelings on that. Make sure like buttons are being hit, by the way, as well. Get that done.
I mean, throughout the season, when you look at the points Liverpool have got, they are one of the top teams in the country. But when you actually look at the performances, I'm not so sure. And I just think I'd probably need a little bit more convincing. And no better way to do that than, getting a great result at the weekend against Arsenal.
Jamie Carragher, the cheerleader really of Liverpool fans online, the hugely famous pundit, legend of the football club, very much echoes my sentiment. I think they're a shoo-in for the top four. I think they're one of the best teams in England. I actually think they're still one of the top teams in Europe. If they're in the Champions League this year, they'd have a chance of winning it. But can they win that Premier League? You think of what Jurgen Klopp has said about the atmosphere and desperately needing them, the performances, how often you can kind of see them got that in games. Is there enough there to win the Premier League? There is a big question mark over it for me. I want to gauge your opinions on this. From my standpoint, I think a win against Arsenal changes everybody's opinion. I still think they're in the title race. Man City are my favourites, Arsenal second, Liverpool third. A Liverpool win and a convincing Liverpool win, I'm not sure if it would change my mind. I have to witness it. But I do believe a lot of people might start to really take Liverpool seriously. Some already do, and I understand, and I respect that. I think even more people will. Or do you agree with Jamie Carragher? Are they just a piece or two missing from genuinely being able to win the EPL? Give me your thoughts. Give me your feelings on that, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure like buttons are being smashed as well. Make sure you're getting that done. If you haven't done it yet, why not? And people click it, turn the bell notifications on. I know 300 people did it yesterday, and I can't tell you how humbling that is. So get it done, though, because YouTube might not let you know that we put out new content. You need to be notified by it. Up next, I want to talk a little bit about the Super League here. We're going to first go to what Mark Goldbridge has had to say about this.
Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. The Super League returns, probably not the Christmas present you want unless you are Florentino Perez or Barcelona or even the Glazers, but it is coming back. There's been a huge decision in the EU's top court today saying that FIFA and UEFA acted unlawfully in blocking the breakaway competition. What does this mean? It means that any Super League is free to do what it wants. In fact, the agency behind the Super League, A22, have come out with a tweet this morning saying, "We have won the right to compete. The UEFA monopoly is over. Football is free. Clubs are now free from this threat of sanction and free to determine their own futures." And that is what, well, there's more to that. But I mean, look, ultimately, you've got to get your comments in here. Some people are very pro this Super League. It makes me want to throw up.
I want to find out why it wants to make him throw up here. Listen to what he
makes
says.
Me want to throw up because as a Manchester United fan or as a Liverpool fan, the European Cup means something to Manchester United. I mean, let's be pretty blunt here. Manchester United, the Busby Babes, that team died coming back from the European Cup. That team was basically decimated. And in '68, we won it. This will be the death of the European Cup. This is the death of football as we know it. That's the plan. People are just so ridiculously naive through history about certain change, which is about money and domination. Oh, it'll be fine until it's too late. I think the Super League is sickening.
I understand where Mark is coming from. And I'm on the fence with this right now because we don't know what the new proposal is going to be. I didn't like the previous one purely because there was no jeopardy. Once you were in it for life. I don't want anything that's Americanized. I don't want anything that you can't be relegated from or promoted into. Teams have to have the ability to fight towards something. Am I against it because it might mean the end of the European Cup, the Champions League as we know it? No, because the people said what Mark's saying about the Premier League when it was first invented, that it would kill football, that it would be a financial monopoly for everybody, football would die. And I think it's gone from strength to strength. There are still question marks over it, but if anybody can get into it, and if it's governed right, I don't see why this can't work. However, there has to be jeopardy. So they may pick an inaugural 20 teams to play in it. However, you're also in the situation where can other teams get promoted? Can you be relegated from it, etc.? How does the money generated by the Super League spread out to the lower levels and the pyramid of the game? All of this needs to be addressed for me. So I'm not saying I'm against it 100%. I'm also not saying I'm for it. And that isn't me sitting on the fence because I want to sort of pander to both sides. That's me saying we need to understand the ins and outs of the Super League or the new proposal first. If it's like the last one, I'm 100% against it. Report coming out here I've read today is that PSV, Feyenoord, Benfica, Porto, and Italian clubs, Red Star, Anderlecht, are some of the clubs who've accepted the new Super League. So you're getting a lot of the clubs from leagues that don't make money like the Premier League that want this. And that's where I think we also have to be very mindful. A lot of the European countries, footballing-wise, have not a disdain for the Premier League, but we have such a financial monopoly over them because our league is so popular. I understand why they want it. And if they want it, we're in a predicament where look, we could stay with UEFA and we'd probably, all the English clubs would start winning all the European Cups if they all disappear. But football does evolve and football does move on. And I don't know how they're going to set this up. I actually think in the end, got a little theory that they'll end up coupling up with UEFA and they'll end up doing something collectively in that regards. But I'm intrigued to garnish the show with your opinions, understand what your thoughts and feelings are around this situation. Marseille and Lyon are also keen to join the Super League, according to this report here today, and many others. So, look, it does look like something that's going to happen. I think the owners, like the Glazers, probably why they didn't want to sell the club in its entirety to the Qataris, because if this goes through, everybody's clubs become more valuable, because you are talking about £400, £500, £600 million per season to participate in the Super League, which, when you consider, like, for some clubs that more than doubles their income. For Man United, $600-700 million a year, almost doubles the income. The business becomes more valuable. How well we're run is another question. So I'm intrigued to know what this is going to look like, what this proposal is. But do you agree with Mark? Are you sick? Genuinely, are you sick of the idea of the Super League and the European Cup, as it were, becoming null and void? I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions on that. Please hit like buttons. Please subscribe. Give us your thoughts and feelings, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.